According to the BMG research poll for the Eye, Reform UK has now surged to 32%, placing it 10 points ahead of Labour on 22% and a staggering 13 points ahead of the Conservatives, languishing on 19%. For the first time, Reform has a double-digit national polling lead over both major parties. In raw numbers, this is more than a shock, it's a political thunderclap. And the poll follows local election results where Reform gained more councillors than Labour and the Conservatives combined, seizing control of 10 councils, and it pulled off a by-election upset in Runcorn and Helsby, overturning a Labour majority of nearly 15,000 with a mere 6-vote margin. Not bad for a party that was dismissed as a protest vehicle less than a year ago. The real warning light here is Labour's voters. According to a separate Savanta IRR poll, 29% of Labour voters now regret their 2024 vote, nearly double the rate of remorse among Conservatives and more than twice that of Reform voters. What's more, only 64% of Labour voters still feel confident in their decision, a stark contrast to Reform's 81%. This isn't just bad polling, this is thunderous. Starmer's agendum cuts to winter agenda. Sorry, there's many things. Starmer's agenda cuts to winter fuel payments, benefits reform, the hesitant approach to public ownership has alienated vast swathes of working class voters who once formed Labour's spine, and Labour now finds itself with a leader who, despite trade deals and managerial calm, has a net satisfaction rating of -39, the lowest since Rishi Sunak's final days. Farage has masterfully channeled real discontent into political momentum, and his messaging is often blunt, offensive and short on solutions, but it resonates. When voters in Boston say they feel like foreigners in their own town, Reform is the only party that seems to be listening. When council estates see vape shops replace banks and day drinking in parks replaces public services, Reform offers not policy but catharsis. And crucially, they're leading on immigration, cost of living, crime, taxation, and even foreign policy ideas, or at least votes or support. Not because they offer any credible blueprints, but because the other parties have failed to fill the void. So some in Labour suggest that the party's become too liberal, too concerned with woke issues. That's not only a misdiagnosis, it's dangerous. If Labour attempts to out-reform reform, it will lose both its soul and its vote. The Conservatives are already doing that on themselves. The working class is not a monochromatic block. It's white and brown and gay and straight and disabled and able-bodied, unionised and precarious. Fighting for social justice and economic justice must go hand in hand. Labour's shameful drift away from its own redistributive instincts, retreating on public ownership, tiptoeing around corporate greed, is not strategy, it's surrender. Or at least that's what a lot of people think. If these numbers hold, it's a big if, but no longer an implausible one. Nigel Farage could march into Downing Street with a majority exceeding 350 seats. I think it's more likely he's going to get 6 seats next time round. But that would be, in Robert Struthers' words, the most extraordinary general election result in British history. This is not just about vote shares or poll leads. It's about whether Labour still understands the pain of the people it claims to represent. The choice is not between bread and butter issues and identity politics. It's between hope and hatred, authority and authenticity and opportunism, solidarity and scapegoating. Labour must rediscover its courage, and fast, because the fight against reform is not a culture war, it's a class war. And if we don't act like it, we may well lose it. We may well lose the class of 2025. We may just lose everyone, and I don't think that's simply about the Labour Party. I think it's about the Conservative Party. I think it's about the political system in general. We may lose because reform is different. Reform is different.